Okay. So let's start with data pages. Now let's see first, what is a clipboard page and what's a data page? Guys, most of the interviews people ask you about data pages. So this is listen the theory as well, clipboard pages and data pages. So what is the disadvantage with a clipboard page and what is the necessity to go for a data page? Disadvantage with clipboard page. Let's say you have a page called as locations.ex results. What does it do? It pulls all the locations from the master table and displays it in the drop down. Very good. So let's say I have a user. So for that user on his clipboard there will be a page called as locations.ex results. So let's say I have 10,000 users. 10,000 users will have their own requester sessions? Yes. 10,000 users have their own clipboards? Yes. And 10,000 users will have their own locations page? Yes. So, unnecessarily, you are creating the same data. So, locations is something common for every user. Whether you be in Hyderabad or in Andhra or in Delhi, end of the day, my website is same. So, my data is same. The drop-down contains the same. But still, for 10,000 users, I'm creating 10,000 pages called as locations and I'm populating the same data. So, the two disadvantages here. One, memory usage, unnecessary usage of memory. Two, multiple DB hits. Every time you want the locations, I go and hit your master table, right? So multiple DB hits. So it's like performance-wise, your application is being very poor, right? So in order to avoid this, what should I do? I should have a single reusable page. Okay, good. That saves your memory. I'll create one page. I'll say it is a reusable across for the node. Everybody can reuse it. Okay, it will save. So what about the multiple DB hits? How can you avoid it? Yes, I have to avoid it. I have to make sure that once the page is there on the clipboard, next time Pega should not go and hit the DB. So Pega should check on the clipboard, is this page existing? If yes, do not browse the database. If the page is not existing, means data is not there, then go and browse the database. It means only first time user can browse the DB and get the data. From the next time, as the page is existing, the users will not be able to hit the database and get the data. Okay? So here comes the concept of data pages with the two things that we discussed now. So in data pages, one thing is like they are reusable. Second thing is like data page is created only for the first time when somebody tries to refer it. So from the second time, from 2 to 10,000 users, the page will not be created or it will not hit the DB. Because Pega will check, is the page existing on the clipboard? Yes. Then it will not touch the DB. So this is the main concept of data pages. Most of the people ask you, what is the difference between clipboard page and data page? This is the difference. Life and scope of a data page is high when compared to a clipboard page. Now, so reusability. Yeah, what levels of reusability I can provide? I can provide my reusability at 3 levels. Node, requester, thread. What is node level reusability? Node level reusability means you can reuse the page at server level. Means all the users can reuse a page, that page. All the users in a particular server. Sorry, correction. All the users in a particular node instance, not server. Server can have multiple nodes, right? So all the users of a particular server instance can reuse that page. So I have 10,000 requesters, 10,000 people use the same page. Requester. Requester means one operator session. It means I have 10,000 users, then have 10,000 pages. Okay? But every user, let's say it's a customer support application, okay? You go Vivo as a customer support, people will call them and ask them to book tickets, okay? So I being a customer support person, I get nearly 200 calls a day. Okay. And I create 200 work objects for those 200 customers to book bus, flight or hotel. So I myself create 200 work objects in the current requester session. Okay. So if a page is maintained reusable at requester session, for all my 200 work objects, the page will be common. But my page cannot be used by you because you are in a different requester session. But in my session, let me create 200 or let me create 2000 or 20,000 work objects, the page is common. Thread. Thread means tab in a browser. So when you say thread level data page is reusable, it means like only in the current work object. Only in current work object, the page is reusable. So maybe in current work object, you use a page in multiple screens. So it will not create a new page everywhere. It will try to reuse the existing one. Okay. So now let's see when should I use each of these four. Node level, hey, very generic. Select something which is very generic as level, and now we have location. It's quite common, right? Like whether you go for a bus or I mean like bus or train or something, it's quite common for us. I mean like it's common for all the users. So irrespective of your state, irrespective of gender, irrespective of any factor, the drop down that I display is common. So I put the page as a node level. Requester level. Let's say, for example, I was a customer support employee, right, who booked tickets for the customers. So every time I book a ticket, maybe let's say, for example, I attach my details. I attach my details at the bottom saying that this ticket was booked by so-and-so operator. Please contact me for anything in case of emergency or for any queries. So that's something that I attach about my information, my email ID, my contact number, and some my details I attach to every ticket that is booked by me as a operator reference. Okay. So every time I book a new ticket for a new customer, I have to pull my details from the database, like my current operator ID, my login ID, my something. It's waste of memory and time, right? Every time you pull your details from the DB. So what do? You can maintain a database where you maintain your own personal details and you attach it to the every work object that you create. That's requester session. So anything specific to your requester, you have data, you can do it in requester session. So let's say thread. Let's say I'm a kind of maybe some insurance person. I'm a patient, okay, who is taking insurance. Okay, I'm trying to create a case to the insurance company. And when I create a case to the insurance company requesting for my insurance, in multiple areas of my screen, I need to provide a previous health history. Okay, so based on my previous health history, they provide me the insurance. So instead of asking the employee to fill the, instead of asking the person to fill the previous health history multiple times, we want to pull it on the database and display it. Very good, the user is happy. Now, let's say 5 to 6 screens the user has to fill his previous employee information. It's like based on one criteria, so some screens may or may not come to some people. But still it is difficult for users to always fill their information in multiple screens. So what should I do? I just put it on the database wherever this requirement is there. So multiple DB hits. Instead of that, if you use a data page, the same data page can be used in multiple screens whenever you want the previous health information of a particular person. So in this way, it is thread level. Why thread level? Because my previous health information is specific only to me. It doesn't matter to other users or other work objects or something, right? So that's the reason it's thread level. So if you have information very specific to a work object, go for a thread level. If it is common for all the work objects that you create in a requester, go for requester. If it's common at server level, go for node. That's how we give the life of a data page. Take 2 minutes. Try to understand it. Understand the difference between the clipboard and data page and the various levels in data pages. Okay? And just let me know if you have any queries. Okay. Hope you're good. Now let's start creating some data pages and see the advantages or disadvantages of a data page. So you know sort of a good side of it. The bad side of it is like, as I told you, the page will be refreshed only once. So the challenge is like, what if somebody enters a record in the database or somebody deletes the record on the database? You'll not get it because Pega doesn't do a second browse for a data page, right? So the page is already existing, we don't do a second browse. That's the disadvantage of the database. But still, yes, we can overcome it. Data page has some refresh strategies. You can give a timer and you can flush it. You can have a when condition and you can flush it. Or you can say reload once per interaction. Means every time you try to use a data page, it will get you a fresh copy of it. Okay. So that's how you can do it. Just give me a second. అయిపోయిందండి తుడు ఉందా తుడిచారా ఓకే Okay. So like you have some different strategies like this which we can use to do it. Okay. Let's go back to your application. Let's start creating the data page and see how it works. So what was your requirement? Your requirement was to display the buses which are available in a particular location, right? In a repeating grid. What happened? The repeating grid could not consume a clipboard page. So you started learning data pages, right? So now let's create a data page. I click on your class, create. So you have been working with multiple categories, right? So now you're working with data model, data page category. Earlier you used the same category for properties. Now you're using it for data pages. Okay. Now, one more important thing about the data pages is data pages always have a prefix called as D underscore. So this makes you easy to understand whether it's a data page or a normal clipboard page. And guys, data pages are enhancements to declare pages in Pega 6 version. So in Pega 6, we used to call them as declare pages and they used to have a prefix called as declare underscore. Okay. So today they are called as data pages and we have a prefix called as D underscore. So give the name of your data page. Locations, right? Locations. I remember. Let me see once. Okay. Don't give the complete name because you know why I'm saying this. Like whenever you create a data table, Pega by default gives you two data pages. So I doubt for locations table you already have D underscore location. So don't create it with the same name. Let's say D underscore master locations, something like that. Actually, we can reuse this page, but I wanted the people to create from the scratch and learn it. So I don't want to use the existing pages. Otherwise, we can use this. Okay. So please create it as D underscore master locations. Data page also has a structure. Means just like a clipboard page. Is it a page or a page list? Page means one record of data. Page list means multiple records of data. What's your requirement? Displaying locations. Do you have a single record or multiple records? Multiple records. Then you should choose list. Which class data you are willing to hold? Which class? Locations class, right? So you are going to hold records which are pulled from the locations table. So it is locations. Which class data the page is holding? Locations class data the page is holding. So locations. Okay. So do you want to make your page read-only or editable? It's your choice. Editable means other users can edit it. Read-only means nobody can edit it. Anything is your choice. And scope. So this is the one that we have discussed. Requester, thread, and node level. So now maybe you can give it as node level or requester level. Okay. So if you give it as node level, you have to give your access group here. Means if I put it at node level, everybody can access it. So you have to give an access group so that people only with this access group can access it. So give it at node level. And one more thing is, first if you select something else and you try to switch it to node, your page will not work. There is some configuration issue. So first you select it as node and you save it, then it's good. But first you select it as something else, you save it, then you come back and change it to node. The data pages are not working. I mean, this is an issue that I observed. I'm just telling you. If by any chance, if you people are trying like that, you might come across issues. Then here is the source for your data page. Data page is also a page. Somebody has to load data onto it. So the source can be either a connector, means integration, data transform, we'll be learning it, report definition or activity. So I guess you can go for activity because we already have an activity, right? Which can pull the locations for us. So give the name as activity. Take a minute, please, to the configuration. Okay. Now, I have to give my activity name here. What is your activity? Let me check in the recent explorer. We open, right? Did all locations. Okay. This is my activity. Now, I'll try to plug in it here. Do I see my activity? No. What is the class here? Code-Pega-list. So you can see only the activities which are in this class. Where is my activity? It doesn't go on -mmt-work-etiquette class. So, it's not coming. So what should I do? I should move my activity to this class. I should create my activity in this class. First of all, why should I use this class? The reason is, whenever you change the structure as list, list is an instance of Pega's code Pega list class. List means result set in Java. You have a result set concept in Java, right? Similarly, in Pega, code Pega list is similar to result set in Java. So if you're trying to use page list, automatically page list is an instance of code Pega list class of Pega. So Pega expects you to put your activity in code Pega list class. But if it is page, then you can give your own class. You can see that whatever class you have defined here, that class will come. We are good with it. But when you change it as list, Pega expects it to be in code Pega list. Okay? So what you can do is, better you can save as this activity into code Pega list and delete this existing one so that you will not get confused. Okay? So just make sure you change the class name here, code-Pega-list. Okay? What did I do? I just did the save as. Please do the same thing. Done. Now say create and open. Save your changes. So two things you need to remember whenever you're using an activity in a data page. One, if the structure is list, you have to put it in code Pega list. Two, under security tab, there's something called as usage. Usage means where you are using this activity. If you're using this activity in a data page, you should change it to load data page. Okay, there are various contexts. So if you're using this in a UI, it is activity. If you're using this in a connector rule, I mean like SOAP, REST integration, rule connect. If you're using this in a declarative rules, on change, trigger, using this in a flow utility. So if you're using in a validation route, validate. So like that, based on the usage, you have to change it. So right now it is load data page. So remember two things you need to take care in an activity while using data pages. If the page type is list, you have to create the activity in code Pega list class, and you should change the usage to load data page. Okay. Please change it under security tab. Done. Do delete the existing one. Let's not, otherwise you'll get confused. So please delete the old one, the one that is in e-ticket class. Okay, make sure before deleting. I say NR. NR means not required. See, it's deleted. Okay, please delete it. Close this. Now come back to your data page. Now try to search for the activity get locations. Here it is. Okay. Now save your changes. This is another. I told you, right, whenever you give it as node, Pega asks you access group. If it is something else, access group is not required. Just see what is your access group and try to give the same thing, otherwise you can't access it. So my access group is MMT colon administrators. Okay. Let me do it here. MMT colon. How come? This is not there. MNOT. Is the access group? Huh. How come access group is not coming? If it is not coming, just copy paste it and save it now. Just copy your access group and paste it. It will come in the drop down. I don't know like what is wrong usually. Okay, just copy paste it and save it. Don't give my access group. Check what is your access group and configure it. Done. Now you have to test it. Yeah, I told you about the refresh strategy, right? So here is a refresh strategy. You can give a timer and you can say flush it after the timer expires. Actually, if it is of different type, like if it is thread and requester, you will see other refresh strategies also. So this is also an interview question. People will ask you, when do you get this when condition flush? I told you, if you give a when condition, it will flush and reload once per interaction. So there are actually three things to refresh. But all three will come only if you are at requester or thread level. If you are at node level, all three will not come. Only this timer will come. That's also an interview question. They try to ask you in such a way like you will end up with an answer saying that only in node level timers will come, in other levels all three will come. Okay? Just remember this point. Now, and whenever you make some new records in the database, you have to come and flush the page here by clicking on clear data page. So if you flush the page, then the fresh data will come from the database. Next time when the user tries to use the page. So now go to actions of run new page and see if data is coming or not. So run. Okay. Flush. Run. Do you see any PX results here? No, right? Your data is not coming. What is the reason? Let's trace it. So this is my data page. Very good. This is my source. Okay, let me open my source. What is happening in the source? Source is browsing the data and placing the data onto a clipboard page. And there's no point in using data pages, right? The purpose of data page is to avoid your clipboard page. If you're still using a data page, then there's no point. So this should be a data page. This is the mistake you have done. So what's your data page name? This one. Control C. Come here, paste it, save it. Okay? Now go back. Actions. Run. Flush. Run. Now see, view CPX result count. I got 4 records. At the bottom, 4 results. Expand them, you'll see the data. Okay? Now, please do the change. Copy your data page name and change it in your activity. Then go back to your data page, run and see if you are getting the results or not. If not, do let me know. I'll be able to assist you. Okay? Hope you are able to do it. So what next? So the whole purpose of data page came into the concept because I was trying to put a repeating grid in my section and I could not configure it with the data. So now you have the data on a data page. Hey, you didn't see the data on the clipboard, right? Go to your clipboard. You can see data pages here. Go to standard thread. Okay. So there's a whole set of category called as data pages and you'll find your page here. So is it a thread or recursor or node? It's node. So on node, D underscore master locations and your page results. Okay. Okay. Now let's move to the section. Everyone, please open your section, bus booking. Okay. Now take a repeating layout outside of the existing layout, repeating grid. Okay. Now open the settings, go down, sorry, here only, data page. What's the name of your data page? G underscore master locations. Awesome. Then, just like your, just a second. Now here, this is submit. Okay. So you have something, I'll show you the configuration again guys. I have still more to configure in the screen. So I wanted to show something. This is, you see action top and action bottom, right? This is like header and footer. So if you want to display everything in headers and footers, you can do it. If you don't want it, it's better to eliminate this section. Okay? So using repeating grid, you can even ask the user to enter some data at runtime by using add and delete. Let's say you're uploading your resume. Okay? We expect you to add your skills. How do you do it? You click on add item and you keep on adding your skills in each row. So in such cases, you can use this option. Asking the user to enter data at runtime and repeating it, you go with this. Okay. But for now, I don't want users to add new buses or add new locations, right? So I will disable the header and footer like this. And pagination means, do you want to, like, if there are more than 10 rows, do you want to display it in multiple pages? Yeah, you can enable it page 1, 2, 3. And maximum is like 20, 10 per page, something like that. You can give some pagination. It's purely your choice. Optimize for mobile means, based on the mobile pixel size, this will automatically change. The UI look and feel will change based on the mobile pixel size. Okay? So just give this option, give your data page name, give pagination, change display and header. Okay, so this, okay. Now submit your screen. So what next? Very good, you configured the data, but you did not tell how is the order of displaying the repeating grid. I mean, like, what is first row, what is next row, what is, I mean, like, what is first column, what is next column, what is, it didn't define, so you have to define it. So put your pointer in the first cell and try to insert another column like this. How many you want, you insert that many. Okay. So here, the first row is for the heading, so the second row is for the data. So let me configure data first. Second row is for data. So what shall I display? What is this? Master locations. Something went wrong. Okay, got it. The purpose of this repeating grid is to display all the buses available in that particular location, right? But we created a wrong data page. We gave all locations. We have to give another activity. Okay, we'll do one thing. Close this. Let's create another data page quickly. The data page should contain bus number, bus name, AC, non-AC, price and all those things. So that is what you have to display here, right? The data page should not contain locations. Let's create another page quickly. I'll quickly show it. You guys do it as a task, but I'll show it right now. D underscore available buses. Okay. Page is like list. Then activity is the main problem. We configured a wrong activity there. The activity was supposed to be, oh my god, get buses. Okay. Do save as. We are supposed to put it in code Pega list class, right? Code hyphen, Pega hyphen, list. Okay. And the other mistake is we have to use data page here. D underscore, my data page name. It's case sensitive, guys. If you put a wrong spelling or a wrong capital small letter, the data page will not work for sure. So I always do copy paste. This has a where clause. Based on the source and destination, the buses will be pulled. Okay. Now come here. Oh, sorry. I didn't. I said two things, right? One is moving it to a new class. Second thing is changing the usage. If you don't change the usage, you'll not find the page in the data page. Now see here. Okay. Save your changes. Run. Flush. Run. Okay. You have two results. Fine. Let me go back to the UI. Wrong page configured, right? Change it. T_. Buses. Okay. Submit. Now the first choice for headers and second row is for data. So dot what should I say? Hey, how come this class is coming? Something wrong. Give me 1 second. Data page. It should show actually bus properties, right? Means the properties which belong to your bus details class. When you see this, it is showing e-ticket. Means the mistake is here. You didn't give here buses. Okay. Now I'll go back to your section. Still didn't change. Still it is showing e-ticket. Let me reconfigure it. Okay, it moved to buses. Otherwise, buses columns were not displaying. That's the reason I have to change it. See now, bus number. Awesome. So heading will be as bus number. Open the header. Give it as bus number. Next. Travel's name. Okay. Header as travel's name. Third one. Number of seats. Okay. Number of seats. So you guys keep doing that. You guys put how many columns you want. Okay. And at the, that's it. Just keep how many columns you want. And let me see a preview how it looks like. Don't worry, it will not look like this. Like this. Okay. So it will look like this. 1, 2, 3. KSR number of seats. Okay. And after you are done, we have to move this up and that down. Okay. This is how it's going to look like. We'll give more look and feel tomorrow. We'll display it like in a table headers, and this will not display initially. This will be hidden initially. Only when the user selects source and destination and hit on search, then this will display. So all this we'll do tomorrow. Okay. So task for you for today: complete this data page configuration. Or you can please take a time and complete this right now. And guys, I have given you some tasks to complete activities and sections configurations of flights and buses like in the last previous classes. Please make sure you're completing them on time. Complete your data page configuration. Make sure you change the class name. And coming to the activity, please make sure you put it in, you save as it into code Pega list class and you give the usage of load data page. Hope you have changed the activity. Come back to the data page and put your activity name here. Save it and run it and see. Okay. Then come to your section. In the repeating bit, just configure your data page name. Oh, hold on a second. Did you change the page name here? Just make sure you change it. It's case sensitive. Good if you copy paste it. If somebody just joined, please mute yourself. Please make sure you change the page name and activity. And you change the security settings like load data page. Now come back to your section. Give your data page here. Okay. Then you have to plug in your properties like this. And every second row, not the first row, in the second row, you have to go dot and figure out your properties. Same thing you give us heading in the first row. Just try for one or two properties and do a preview. If it is working, please take it as a task and complete the rest of the configuration. And task for you for tomorrow, we are going to create a new data page called as get d_available flights, d_available hotels. And you are going to make sure like the activities are in code Pega list class. Activity usage uses load data page. Activity step pages, d_your pages. And you have to run the data page and say data is populating. Section configuration we'll do in the class.